Hello. Trying to see if everything's working here. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I think we're on. There we go. A little bit of a new routine this morning, so sorry about that. But I think it's a better one. I think it's an improvement. How's everybody doing this morning? It is, it's 2023. That's what it is. It's the second day of the new year. It's already been a little bit crazy just trying to get started here. But with the new year comes a new owner of the internet, and Toxic Orchid comes in with a good morning and was won with her bid, the internet and everything IP related. So congratulations, Toxic. I know you've won before. You know what to do. Keep it safe for us, and good luck today. Let's see. Who else here? Michelle says, good morning, taking my reserved seat on the back row. Hey, some of us like the back row. That's a fun place to be. It's closest by the door in case anything goes down. You're the first person to get out. Darth Holler says, morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Bitfinex, good to have you here as well. Lane, Richard on a globe, good to have you. Kathy was here. Kathy Kniffen. I don't know. I think that's a new name. There you go. Morning all. Gotcha. Good morning, Karen, as well. TW, Happy New Year, peeps. It is a great new year. We're super excited. Looks like we're talking, you guys are talking about Brian. I want to talk about Brian as well. We will do some of that here in just a minute. Such interesting psychology involved in this case. Very, very. And more is going to come out. This week's going to be a lot more information, I think, on this case. Good morning, early bird, says Pauline. Abby, good to have you here from the UK. Edward Foster, good morning, Attic friends. Good morning, Edward. Hope you're doing great this second day of 2023. There, I made the mistake already. Up until then, I had not got the year wrong in everything I've done. Everything I've written, all the dates, everything, for the whole 24 hours it's been 2023. That was my first mistake. So, oh well. I'm starting to get the shakes. No RA for 2 days. Well, we're back. Hopefully that will fix the fix, so to speak. Hope everyone had a wonderful. There's a lawsuit, of course. There will be. Hope everyone had a safe and wonderful holiday. I sure did. It was wonderful. Let's see who else. Mr. 80s Music runs to the door. Woohoo, made it. You were on time. I was a little bit late. You were actually 7 minutes early by my clock, Mr. 80s Music. So plenty of time there. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation about what else, any other crimes this Brian guy might have been involved in or with, and hopefully some of this will come out here. Let's see. Good morning, Happy New Year to all. Good morning, Maureen. Good to have you. All right, it's just another. Oh, I just missed like 100 text messages. It's everybody saying they're late. So let's see. I missed everybody. Holy cow! It just updated a ton. Who else do we have? Got to go fast. 7, Mac, Michelle Stark, Miss Chris, Toxic Orchid, Golden Girl. I got Toxic already. KQD, good to have you this morning. Linda Hill. Let's see. There's Darth Holler again. Michelle Stark. Suzanne, good to have you. MM Jones. I'm seeing a lot of names of people who texted the burner phone over the weekend to wish me a happy new year, and thank you so much. It was awesome. It was wonderful. I did go to sleep probably at the beat of midnight, the stroke of midnight, right when it happened. I'm like, okay, I survived till the new year. Let's get some rest now. But let's see, Laura TW, Samantha Terry takes her seat. Welcome, thank you so much. Let's see. Weather Watch. Trouble in the house. Yeah, Weather Watch says there might be some weather. He said the forecast for later today and tonight is even more threatening. He was just texting me this morning, so there may be something in the mix for those of us in central or eastern United States. Utah, I think, got some snow too. For those of you who are out there in that part of the world. So it's been an interesting year already. Kat, good morning. Finally caught a live on this time. Wonderful. Good to have you here, Kat. Feel free to make yourself known in chat. You'll find you've got a lot of friends here. So, Denise, Stephen Lee, good to have you. Stephen, I have to say, I'm working on an item of merchandise. I've ordered it already, and it's your logo that you've made for the program. I don't have it pulled up. Here we go. It's this one right here, and it's on a mouse pad, because I desperately need a mouse pad. And so I have that working. And if it arrives and looks good, I'll send out the link to you guys. Right now, it's also through that same eBay account. And there's also a Hot Mic Lover shirt, which I haven't seen if it came out the quality that I want it to be. But we've got Hot Mic Lover shirts coming and the mouse pad coming here soon. Love the intro, said Laura. Thank you, Laura. I made that on Saturday. It was, I didn't get to see all you guys. I thought, I'm gonna put something together. I also have to work on my banner and the little logo, and every day that I work on this channel, and I think, okay, I just need one more thing to fix it to make it better. I find that there are like 2 or 3 more things that I didn't realize I needed to fix, and it's a ton of work. But the intro video was one that I needed to have done, because it's a little easier to watch that than watch me scramble and try to get everything plugged in and checked that I have to do every morning as the live show starts. And so with the little video at the front, I think that'll be okay. So let's see. Watching from Alberta, Canada, Kat. That's awesome. Sunny Florida Mom, Happy New Year to you. Good to have you. 7, Tina. Mama, good to have you in the house as well. Sharon McDonald. Rainbow Light. Hi, everyone. Good to have you, Rainbow. Tiffany Marie, good morning, Recovery Addict. Good morning to you, Tiffany Marie. Hope you're doing great, and I wish you the best in this new year. All right, Weather Watch is here. I think I've got most of you. Sandy Fields, Last Poet, Carly, Jill. Okay, so we've got. I think I've said hi to most of you. If I missed somebody and you haven't been called, Rowdy Girl like you. If I didn't call your name on the roll, just go ahead and raise your hand in chat, and I'll acknowledge you accordingly, get you on the roll. Anyone after this point who enters the room is officially late. Make sure you have them mark themselves such. All right, so I wanted to start first of all with a little bit of Knoxville. Is that all right? Can we start with Gordon? Gordon, sorry, we'll get you. Sharon McDonald, right? Good. Ola, good to have you. Aileen, good morning. Tag, is here? Tag, you're here on time. That's wonderful. Ed as well. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of Knoxville, which I thought was. I have to preface this one a little bit. I'm not sure if the individual who's about to be arraigned that you're about to see, and this happened over the weekend. I'm not sure if he is still intoxicated, because I believe public intoxication was one of the things he was charged with, if I remember correctly. He may not be all there due to inebriation, or it could be something else that causes him to not be all the way present. But this particular arraignment has a couple things. It has a quick little civics lesson, as we understand, as right off the bat, we start being told, how the balance of powers work in our country. It has a spelling lesson. If you listen closely, you can hear that. And it has just a general lesson in being polite. So we have 3 lessons right off the bat that we can learn from Knoxville. So let me go ahead and get this one pulled up. Oh, that's the wrong one. How about this one? All right. And I'm missing my control. There it is. It's hidden back here on the desk. Okay, let's give this guy a good...
I'm over here. I'm not trying to do nothing illegal.
You're not. You're going to talk to this man right here, okay?
I don't know who he is neither.
I know.
We got all in it together.
No, actually, we're separate. It's checks and balances. I'm part of the court. He's with law enforcement. Alrighty.
Love that.
What's your name?
Joseph Mills.
So I'm the magistrate. You're here for your arraignment. You've been charged with a crime, more than likely. No, it might
What is my charge?
That's what.
What is my charge? Tell me what my charge is. I've not done nothing. Ain't no THING.
So there's,
Nothing.
we've got spelling and civics already out of the way.
Okay, so you have an attachment that was issued in a trespass case for failure to appear. It was issued on September 13th of this year. And you have a $100 appearance bond to the resolution of that attachment. You understand what's going on?
That's all a big lie. That's what's going on.
Do you understand the lie?
No, I sure don't. No, I don't.
So they're saying you missed court, and they revoked your bond, and they're going to make you post another one if you want to get out. Alrighty. You've also been charged with public intoxication. That will be a Class C misdemeanor if convicted.
Where'd you go?
You understand what you're charged with?
I'm not guilty of none of it.
I didn't ask you if you're
I'm
guilty.
not pleading guilty to it. I'm not pleading guilty to it.
I'm not asking you to. Would you like me to read the allegations?
I don't care what you read or when you don't read. I'm not guilty of nothing. I ain't done nothing to y'all.
The question is, do you want me to read it for you? So you can know what they're accusing you of doing.
I don't care if they read it or not. I'm not guilty of it.
Okay. If you cannot afford an attorney, I can appoint one. Would you like me to do one? Would you like me to do that?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
right ahead. I can do something.
Okay, I need to ask you some questions on oath to make sure you qualify for court-appointed attorney and to set your bond. So you raise your right hand and be sworn in. This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled. I need you to raise your right hand.
It's like I did. See?
Gotta hold it up.
I need you to take an oath.
I'm holding it up. I'm putting it up there. And
So you
got
have
a picture of it.
You have to keep it up. Keep it up.
You gotta. There you go.
Keep it up, just like that. Okay.
Look at me though, not him.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is the uniform affidavit of indigency that you filled out of the jail. You swear or affirm that everything you filled out on this form and your testimony you give is true and accurate.
Hell no.
So you lied.
No, I didn't lie. I'm telling you, hell no. I didn't plead guilty to nothing.
That's not what I asked you.
That's what I'm telling you. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not guilty of nothing.
Officer, I think I'm gonna have to set him for court. There's no way to arraign him. There's just no way. Like this. He's gonna need help of an attorney to be arraigned.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna set him on January 4th in misdemeanor court for arraignment.
All righty. Alrighty. I'll get another one up for you.
This guy thinks he won. He's like, see? I showed them.
Next.
Anyway, I love that. Let me go back here. A couple of you had some fantastic comments during that one. Let's see here. I went too far. Missed it. Okay, so and somebody was spelling nothing. Afternoon peeps, newbie here, says Sharon. Welcome, Sharon. Good to have you. Let's see. How did I sleep through the fireworks? Abby, we didn't have many fireworks where I was at. We had some about 10 p.m. They were a ways away, but we're sort of out in the boonies, out in the sticks, so we don't get a lot of that. Stephen Lee. Hello, Jimmy from Kansas. Good to have you here, Jimmy. I'm trying to find your comment, the comments that came through here. Happy New Year. Got you, Tiffany. Right back at you. Okay. Still. One on Globe says my wife's birthday mug came. I'm impressed, and that's not easy to do. I'm glad you like it. I've got my mug. I'm doing the red mug today. I'm going to fill it up with water actually before I get thirsty. That even sounds tasty. So we've got a couple things that happened over the weekend that I wanted to talk about, specifically with the Idaho case. As I'm still trying to get going. It's like I've got a brain fog here in 2023. Grats on the 4K subs, dude. Hey, thank you. The subs, those are all you guys. That's not me. That's you guys who did that, and thank you so much. That was super exciting. I hit 4,000 subs about 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve, which is amazing. And so now the next goal is 100,000, right? That way we can get a big silver play button on the wall. Let's see. Join us on Discord. Yes, please do that. Why did all the things go away? Okay. We love Knoxville. Here we go. This is the part we were looking for.
We're going to address subject matter jurisdiction.
We're going to address subject matter jurisdiction, especially as it relates to this Idaho case. Kathy says, I'm in Johnson City, Tennessee, so what's going on in Knoxville? It's just around the corner, right? Knoxville always has some crazy stuff. As a matter of fact, there was another one that wasn't going to show this one, but there's a gentleman that ended up flipping off the judge over the weekend, or flipping off the magistrate, and the officer there did not wait for the judge to throw the book at him. He just took him away, hauled him away right then. So the judge is still talking, doing his paperwork, looks up, and the guy's gone. He's like, I guess we're done. So, but yeah, toxic. As far as the Sovsit guy, the one we talked about, the one we showed last week, I can send you some stuff on that. There's not a lot of information out there. The Michigan one, I think, is what you're talking about. Goldman, I have no idea. I haven't been able to locate anything on him either. Let's see. Yeah, Tiffany, I think iOS devices don't work for some reason. KQD says, my chat went down below your stream instead of to the right. Did I do that or did you? I think it was you. There's a way you can change the view, and it might be a button on your screen that will reorganize how the stream looks. JA says, new subscriber right here. JA, welcome. Good to have you here. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to put you on the big screen this morning. It says Denise, so no chatting for me. Well, hopefully I look great on the big screen, Denise. Let's see. Debbie got Stephen Lee's message. Glad I could hook you two up together with that. Let's see. NOT. I'm looking for who said it. Ola. You had it. NOTHING. That almost needs to be sung in a rap song or something. There's already one that says she's got her own house. She's got her own car. Yeah, I can't probably quote the rest of it because it's not good. Usually see all the crazies there, but missed this dude. Mac, did you see the one that flipped off the magistrate? This is exactly how they teach it in law school, the separation of powers. Matthew Harris, good to have you in chat all the way out of Texas. How's your week looking court-wise? Laura, several of you got the spelling correct. Do you understand the lie? I think we need to make that a sound effect. We've got so many sound effects I was working on over the weekend that I'm going to be plugging in. One from Judge Manning.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
I put that on the intro video, not the one that I show before the show, but I put it on the one on the channel. Let's see. I've got a Walmart one.
In front of the Walmart.
Let's see.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
By gosh, go down and fight them.
I've got this one, but it says some naughty words.
You especially want to go to court if it's bullshit charges because you get them thrown out.
But we got a few of those from last week. Are the mugs microwave safe? I believe they are. They're ceramic, so yes, they should be. It doesn't say anything on it that it's not, and I believe I've microwaved several of mine. But okay, so just want to catch up. Some of you were talking about Brian Koberger. Is that how we decided to say his name? Mr. Koberger, arrested in PA last week. Big break in the Idaho case, which was just fantastic to watch.
Address subject matter jurisdiction.
Right. So about subject matter jurisdiction, Idaho says they have subject matter jurisdiction in this case, and they do, but they have to work with PA to get him back. So as part of that process, he's going to go to court tomorrow for a hearing, which he's told us through his public defender, because he's not able to afford a private attorney. He's told us that he's going to waive that extradition hearing. That is his right. He can basically fight it. He can say, no, you can't. You can't move me. You can't take me out of state. You can't haul me out of state to do that. He's going to waive that right, and he's supposedly really excited to be exonerated. I wonder if some of the strange stuff we've been seeing about his behavior and what he's done in the past is going to start showing up, and if this is going to start turning into a really bizarre case.
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
If it does, it could be fantastic, because we see indications already that he wants to fight this. Now, I don't know if he knows, or if he's seen through his public defender. He probably has not seen the stacks of evidence, if there is such, as far as what really pins him to the case, what makes the Idaho police so confident in saying we have the killer, he's the one who did it, like they did at that press conference.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
We will, I promise, later. But I don't know what the evidence looks like. I don't know if it's a slam dunk as far as that goes. If it's DNA, if they've, if they found DNA in his car or on, in his home, on his clothes or something like that, what the connection is. But it was strong enough that the Idaho felt that at the time of the arrest, they had that connection. So CNN has announced that it's DNA. They have a source that says it was DNA that linked him that way. A couple other people have sort of seconded that. I'm not sure if they got it from CNN or originally from the source. The police didn't say that. The police haven't said much of anything, because according to Idaho law, until Mr. Brian Koberger is on Idaho soil and has been served at that point in state, they can't release anything. But once he is on the soil and he's been served, they said they will release the affidavit, the arrest affidavit. So what we got originally out of PA was just a shell, just some paperwork with almost no information. Let's see. Let me catch up. You guys are probably talking about this, and I'm way out here. Let's see. Okay, my crystal ball says that he will admit to being in the house and alleged relationship with one of the victims, and then argue that his education and research is being used against him. I believe he is smart. I believe he's educated. Well, I mean, we know he's educated. He's got a degree. He was going for his doctorate in criminal justice. But I think he already has a plan, Matthew. I think you're right. If he has a relationship with one of the victims, that could be a reason why, possibly some evidence would point to him in the house. But if it's blood DNA, if his blood is mixed with theirs, especially if they can match that up with the car or something else off the scene, I don't know. That might be a tough argument. He's probably going to say he's being framed. Yeah. What was the thing about his lawyer? The way the news is going right now in this case is crazy. First of all, everybody who's known Brian ever in his life, from like first grade on in school, is being sought out by the news, and they're asking all the neighbors, they're asking the friends, they're asking the bartender down the road, who, if he ever came in and talked to him, and everybody who has any story is talking. The parents are talking a little bit. Obviously, we're getting from them what we'd expect in this case. They're very surprised. They were completely caught off guard. They just don't. They want to go with the presumption of innocence. They probably don't have a lot of information themselves. But just hearing all the different stories we're getting, the pieces that we found, that you guys found, and that we heard about as this was first breaking, seem to have been fitting. They seem to be matching up. The survey that he did when he was in his DeSales University classes, that just seemed bizarre. That seems to be correct. That seems to be his. We're hearing that he was a little bit creepy at a bar, and he usually, when it was one-on-one with women, he was making some comments that weren't appropriate, even to the level that the staff members linked his ID when you scan his ID, so it would also come up with just a little warning about keep an eye on this guy type thing. So there's a lot that's coming out of the woodwork here that is going to be interesting as it gets put together. He's just a creeper, says Laura. Good morning, Debbie. I haven't seen you all year, says Matthew. You and me both. Wow, 2022 seems like it was just a week ago. You guys are hilarious. I doubt this dude has any serious girlfriends. Seems like he's all talk and chat with men and all silence and awkward staring with women. Yeah, it's a little weird. Something's off. Do you think that he's mentally incompetent? I don't believe Idaho, that won't get him out of this. They'll do the same thing they did with Lori Daybell. They'll get him competent and have him stand trial. But the media needs to leave people alone, I think. Toxic, I think you're right. The level we're seeing of the intrusion, we've seen video of people going up and knocking on starting their phone camera recording, going up and knocking on the house door. We've got people that are flying drones over the house looking at the property. There is a ton of interest in this case, and I'm interested in this case, but I think the level they're digging is too much. Is too much for sure. Let's see. Good morning from Northern Ireland. Julianne, good to have you here. Wonderful. I haven't seen Shane yet. He's usually here from Ireland as well. I'm not sure if he's Northern, but hopefully you two can still get along. Let's see. Mr. Upper Torso, if this dude had any ex-girlfriends, I think they would have found them already. They found plenty of childhood friends. What else have you heard on this case that's really stands out to you? I know Bitfinex, you were saying that you'd be surprised. I think it was you that said you'd be surprised if this was the first major crime he's committed. It's not. I mean, for someone who's sort of like a serial killer type profile, it's rare to catch them on a first offense. It does sound like it was very well planned, and that's probably why he was nearly got away with it. Let's see. Kathy says, I'm not totally awake yet, so I'm watching on the TV and checking on chat on and off. Well, good to have you here, Kathy. Let's see. Please take a moment and sign the petition in Discord for members of the Daybell Vallow trial to be publicly streamed. Toxic, I really hope that this happens. I've heard that was it Chad that wants to delay it again? Was that just breaking news this last week? He wants a further delay. If he does, I don't know. Maybe the judge will look at it at that point and reconsider. But I don't think we'll get to see that one. Okay. Trying to pull up the other Knoxville stream. Trying to find which one it was. Let's see. I think the DNA is how they found him through car ownership family tree thingy. Brings out the worst of true crime community, from the fact tellers to the gossipers. Yeah, the DNA is going to be fascinating because that's becoming a thing that really there's been a criminal DNA registry for a long time. You can commit a crime and you can get your DNA sort of put in the database, but it's the civilian side that's now being utilized. I think that is interesting. How people who are interested in their own ancestry will submit their own DNA into a database that I believe the police are gaining more and more access to. I think I can't play the I was framed card. That's Chad Daybell's defense. It's odd that Koberg wears frequently Moscow joints, and we've heard nothing from his own Pullman eateries and bars. Also, the story about forcing his aunt and uncle to buy brand new pots because he's vegan. Okay, so the food thing is weird. For someone who's won't eat anything that has blood in it, he's not doesn't seem opposed to human blood being around him very closely, but it's bizarre. It's a weird little idiosyncrasy. It seems he really grabs for any sort of control he can have. Wonder if he feels out of control deep down. Mental incompetence won't get him anywhere in Idaho. Yeah, that's the wrong state to play that card. That's for sure. They tracked him since day one to watch what he did. They have loads of evidence. I know, Ed. I know they tracked him. I think they found him using DNA. Or at least they were able to locate him. They had definitely located him before he went across the country, and they had tracked him all the way across the country. We're hearing from sources that say that they basically had lots of different divisions sort of team up to track him, so that it wasn't the same car following him all the way across the country, because that would be suspicious. And then they even had trouble when they got to PA, because they're in a remote area, and suddenly you've got a vehicle that doesn't belong sort of thing in that area. So it was a lot of work to track him and keep eyes on him. Nerve-wracking work, especially because they thought they knew that they had enough evidence, but they were waiting for something. They were waiting for a piece they did not have yet. And once that piece came in, they were able to make the arrest. So I really wonder what that piece is. What makes them think they have that smoking gun that they didn't have when they first were just curious about him and started monitoring him. A monster who is creepy? Who knew? I think he's a sociopath, says MB. Let's see. It takes a lot to deem someone mentally competent in the corp, even if you dress like Ventura with a tutu and boxers. Right. A lot of the acting does not work. To be mentally incompetent, you'll have to convince the medical professionals, and generally several of them. And you'll have to be very, very consistent, both in their presence and out of their presence, because they'll monitor everything, all the video footage, all the behavior. What will be fascinating out of PA is we heard that when he was arrested, he spoke with investigators for 5 to 15 minutes before invoking his rights. Now, I don't know how quickly they started asking questions about this, so we don't know if there was any sort of confession or really insightful questioning and answer session that occurred there, or if it was just general, hey, who are you, what's your name type thing, and then as soon as they broached the actual crime, he lawyered up. But we know he's got 5 to 15 minutes of video that he spoke, probably videoed. I'm guessing it's videoed, the way law enforcement works now. It's been videoed. Under PA law, I've already researched this, under PA law, because it's an active investigation, even though that is considered a public record, it's withheld until the investigation is complete. But we may not ever get it if it's not shown in court, because PA says in order to get it, you have to request it within the first 60 days after it's created, and you have to know everything, the time, the place, who was there. You have to have all this information, then you can request it. But if it's is potential evidence, they won't give it to you. So I was hoping we could get that one, but not yet. And still no updates out of California and Florida yet, as well as those Freedom of Information Act requests, the public records requests are working their way through the system. Apparently his aunt said several years ago that she saw him at a funeral, and he had a weird food fetish where he was a vegan but required new pans that had never touched meat. He was a teaching student, a PhD student, wouldn't want to associate with hometown Pullman joints. Yeah, I don't care about his parents' house. I care about the crime at hand. I agree. I think his apartment at WSU would be much more interesting than his parents' house. I've never seen a mugshot that looks good. I'll tell you, I had a this is a funny little story. I had when I was working for the Department of Defense as a contractor, there's a special ID card they have you get. And you go and you get this ID card in a little tiny office, and there's a lot of details behind it. But it's a card that lets you gain access, and you can use it for several different systems and facilities. So I show up to do that, and for all intents and purposes, it's a lot like a driver's license. Okay, as far as look and everything, it's got your mugshot on it, some information about you, and I show up to get my card. And I'm sitting there, and I'm dressed in what I want to be in the picture and everything. And the camera they use is sitting on top of like a little computer stand, and it's sort of like wobbly. And I'm a taller person, so that every time I go there, they have to sort of adjust it up. Well, this guy, instead of actually adjusting the camera, he just sort of like puts his hand on it, sort of like pulls, so it sort of leans back a little bit. And the camera's just sitting here wobbling like this as he says, "Okay, ready for your picture?" And he takes the picture right as he pulls the camera up, and it takes my face and it stretches it out, so I look like one of those cone heads from that old TV show. And it's like the full length of the driver's license type photo goes from chin to top of my head, and my hair's cut off, and it's just this big elongated face. Okay, he pulls it up on the screen, looks at it, and says, "Looks good," and prints the card. And that's the picture I had to show every time I went on base. When I went to work, hey, here's me, look, I'm a conehead, and it was the funniest thing. The guards got a kick out of it. I was a little embarrassed about it, but eventually I thought it was humorous. But yeah, I can imagine mugshots don't make you look very good. It's like a driver's license pic. Heard and saw he was on Reddit taunting everyone. We're not sure, Color Me Abstract. There's a lot on Reddit that has shown up even since he's been arrested. Some things that have claimed to be him. I don't know how much of that is true. But we'll see. JA's from Australia. Welcome from down under. Good to have you here. Thanks for keeping the new year safe for us for about 16 hours before it came to us. I don't know if you cover this, but I read he was an extreme vegan. Miss Priss, yes, like extreme. Almost bizarrely extreme. But we've got a couple Aussies in the house. He wrote a bio on BTK. Was that for his crime research? Chad's attorney's playing games again. Change my name for the new year. How do I look different? Rowdy. Looks great. Looks great. Was it Rowdy Girl before? Is that what we had? Was that the first guy, the same one who created the Walmart bush? No, that was a different one. The Walmart bush was a previous one. We could go back to that one if we need to. But I do have some of the sounds. The Walmart bush. Actually, this is the Walmart bush guy.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
And then that's when we had the hot mic moment right at the end.
I understand. Likely offense will continue, but if he finished peeing, that offense is not going to continue for a while.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. I didn't know at coffee shops they could put little comments when they swiped your card. I heard that one yesterday about him. He makes creepy noises. Yeah. And a neighbor said he does weird things with like power tools in the middle of the night, like or vacuuming and just like a lot of noise, just bizarre type things. Let's see. Watched a lady who saw his account on Reddit and creepy as being nice. Seriously. It's weird. Let's see. I'm already accused of dancing on tables on New Year's Eve. Bella, well, you had a very happy New Year's party, apparently. How do I find the Discord page you talked about so often? Lane, hopefully you can just put !Discord in chat, and it will pop up right there in chat, a link to it. If that link ever doesn't work, let me know. We can update it as needed. I don't think a PhD doctor is going to have an incompetent defense. I bet he's fantasizing about this crime for years and deliberating those to choose a different but close campus than his own. I do think it was well planned. Professor Phil, good to have you here. Happy New Year's to you. Okay. I think it might be useful to remember that after Bundy's Chi Omega beating murders, he went back to his rooming house, watched the news on TV with fellow boarders, and said this was a professional hit. I think there will be some stuff that comes out. His comments about how this happened, the discussions he had with people between when it happened and when he was caught. I think it will be really fascinating. Chad wants a delay because Lori won't give up her right to speedy trial. That may force a severance. So it's just a strategic move on his front because the judge said he won't separate him. Okay. Ann says, I missed the beginning. Any action in courts today or holiday? It's sort of a holiday because New Year's fell on Sunday. The day after is a holiday, so I don't think we have any courts in session. We'll have some arraignments. Those are going on, but actual courts we probably won't see till tomorrow. And tomorrow is going to be the hearing for Brian out of PA for extradition. That'll be super fast because he's going to waive his rights. So it's going to be minutes long, if that. And there's a good chance he won't even appear at that. He'll just be his attorney. Okay. I don't like the fact they're trying to compare him to other serial killers. I can see why they are toxic, just because from going from nothing to killing 4 people, and brutally killing 4 people, is it seems like a serial killer move. Although most serial killers would plan 1 killing. To try to do 4 at once is, well, he was very confident. I have a feeling he got in the house while everyone was out and waited. That would give him time to make friends with the dog. And for a party house, I'm sure the dog was used to people, most likely. What about the preponderance of the pickle? The preponderance of the pickle. That's a good one. I think, Mr. Upper Torso, I think you're right. I think he was in the house before and waited. I don't know why. I don't have any evidence to say that's why. That's what he did. But that seems to me to be the solution. I don't think he came home with them. I don't think he broke into the house after the fact, because the dog might have alerted on that and stuff. I wonder if his alleged comment about any other arrests has anything to do with his sister or other family member. Daniel, I don't know. The press asked his public attorney, his public defender, about that, and he said he doesn't remember making that comment. So his attorney basically had asked him about it and said he doesn't remember making that comment when he was arrested. So we're not sure if that's true. It annoys me for the media to refer to him as a serial killer. This was a mass murder. A serial killer commits multiple murders over a period of time with time to cool off in between. It's semantics, right? No, that's correct. This was a multiple killings at once, not serial, which would be like, a serial TV show, would episode after episode. Good point, Matthew. Let me scroll down here a little faster. Okay. The title they're looking for is Spree Killer. What's the definition of a spree killer, J.A.? I haven't heard that phrase used recently. I mean, you'd think a spree would be like a series of them close together and then a break and then a series close together. So they go on a killing spree. But would that work for 4 at once? His dad drove with him to and from. His dad drove to. He drove him to WSU and then flew back and then flew out and drove back. I know it was a planned trip and his dad was with him on the trip, but I think it was more like it was just so they could take turns driving or something. I don't think it was anything nefarious. I don't think the dad was involved or understood. We don't know, Kid Cutie, if he got his Miranda rights. We don't know what happened there. All we know is that the news is reporting that he spoke to the police for 5 to 15 minutes before he lawyered up. Okay. It's time to adopt another addict. Please make Jenny Lemire feel welcome. Jenny Lemire is our newest subscriber. Every time you subscribe, and if you hit the new button, you'll see who the latest subscriber is. So welcome, Jenny. RA has the launch codes. I do, but I've sworn them to secrecy. Yeah, there's actually some truth to that swearing to secrecy, but not about the launch codes. My license photo looks like a mug shot. Toxic. The clients with mental health issues. This gentleman we watched this morning, I think that might be the case. I think there might be some mental health there. And sadly, the system is very, very poorly set up to handle people that actually have mental health issues. And instead they're treated like a belligerent or criminal and treated roughly. And all that does is make the situation worse. Somebody's racing past my house here. Spree would require a change of location. So yeah, it's just mass murder. I mean, that's bad enough, but I look like a serial killer for my driver's license photo. Idaho has the death penalty. Yes, and do they need, for the death penalty, do they need the burglary charge? Can someone explain that? Because they put a burglary charge in there as well. Does it need to be committed murder in the commission of another crime type thing to make it capital? Or would it just be 2 murders? Is that enough? I'm not sure on that one. Who will be watching the Rose Parade today? That's today. It's rarely not on New Year's Day, but today is one of those days. Does the floor of the building count as another floor count as a different location? I'm guessing probably a different address would be the separation. Let's see. Crazy thing is, all of us are pretty crime obsessed. I would hope none of us are fantasizing about a murder. It might help with the profile, but it won't prove the crime. Yeah. There's an older sister that appears to be interesting, to say the least. I've sort of stayed away from the family. They're not the ones who committed the crime. At least as far as we can tell, they weren't involved. So, wonder if he acted alone. I also wonder if I wonder if he did something to try to cover up or mask what he did with other people. Just the fact that he had this survey he released, there would be follow-up information and stuff. It seems like he's building a network of friends that are, criminally inclined. Dad flew out to Spokane and drove back. He may be the legal owner of the car, and selling it back east in a more populous area might be a motive for the drive back. Okay. Anyone seen Izzy this morning? I haven't seen Izzy yet. Izzy, are you hiding in chat? Professor Phil says, I don't get why anyone gets tricked into talking to police in interrogation without a lawyer, innocent or guilty. Right. It's pretty plain when they start asking you questions. And the whole Miranda rights thing is that's your warning sign. Sports update, Michigan football lost. My Buckeye heart is happy. We only lost by 1 here. Because of the 4 murders, it's enough for the death penalty. Burglary is the unlawful entry with the intent to commit a worse crime once inside. Does it have any element of taking something from the property? Because we're all curious if he took some sort of memento. I seem to think there was something that indicated that a memento was taken, or maybe that was a different one that I'm mixing up. I heard they added the burglary charge in order to get death penalty. Okay. (2020 and 2021) also had a stabbing in sleep at 3 a.m. on the 13th in the same area of the country, both unsolved. But wasn't he at a different school, like at DeSales at that time? I slept in the streets one time to see the Rose Parade. Viewing the floats prior and getting them ready is amazing. That is a huge production, Bella. That's amazing. Okay, Izzy is fashionably late. Talking immediately is a belief in expediency. I wonder if he wants to represent himself. I definitely would not recommend it, especially in a capital case. But, okay. Doesn't have to have taken anything. Sorry. Right there. So there's no indication that he took something from the crime scene. Okay, let me see if I can get this other arraignment up. So we watched the peeing in the bush already. Give me just 1 second here. Let's see if this is the one. That one's not it. We're going to find it here eventually. Just 1 second. Him. Okay. Well, shoot. Thought we had a good one. Okay. We might have to save that for another day. Okay. DNA itself isn't a burglary, though, so we had to remove something. And they don't have the murder weapon yet, which is interesting. Sounds like they need somebody with a magnet or a metal detector to help find it. Let's see. We'll watch bring on that nasty weather next week. I got my new electric blanket for a Christmas gift for me, and I'm prepared to use it, says Tag. You think this will be to a jury if he pleads not guilty? I believe he definitely would be in front of a jury. He was charged with four counts of murder and burglary, or he will be. I don't believe he's charged with that yet. The arrest affidavit out of PA shows that was 1 count of murder, but once he gets on Idaho soil later this week, he'll be charged, formally and with all those charges. I believe that's how it happens. If he represents himself, he learned nothing of value from his criminal justice doctorate. If anyone lives in Texas, TCU football made it to college football national championship. He might want to defend himself because he thinks he's smarter than everyone. Tag, y'all are it. I wonder what his alibi was for those, since he seems to like to travel cross country. We heard about the dog skinning. I don't think that was related. I really don't. I think that was just something that was bizarre that happened up in northern Idaho, which has some crazy things happen up there. Nancy, all we know is that there was some sort of relationship or connection between, I won't say relationship, some sort of connection between him and one of the victims. He seems to have some serious hubris. I wouldn't be surprised if he represents himself, despite being a criminal justice major who should know better. I would think that burglary would indicate theft, i.e. removal of an item from one location. But you've got to look at these charges were announced before they found what. Well, I guess it was after he was arrested, but before they really had the information out of PA. Okay. Suzanne says, I got a new 12.9-inch iPad so I can see you all better. This happens when you get older and you're blind as a bat. I love bigger fonts and this bigger screen in front of my face. Those iPads are incredible, especially if the smaller text and things are harder to read. I'm glad you've got that. That'll be wonderful. Little Miss, I don't think the state is saying anything about any of the murder. There's just some speculation about other unsolved murders that might have some similarities. Whether it be numerological as far as the dates go or location or things like that. Until there's actual proof he committed other murders, that is just a rumor to me. Correct. 100% rumor. There's a 100% chance that he took something from the crime scene. That sort of crime and premeditation almost guarantees a souvenir. Metal detector, you say? Volunteering? DMB, I would love to. I would love to volunteer to do that. Of course, if they have an area, a search area, it would be a lot easier than just showing up and trying to find property. But is burglary not a theft and removal, or what is illegal entry and breaking into? Just found out the Brian guy switched his license plates from Idaho to Pennsylvania right after the murders. Okay, so he switched his plates, Aaron. If this is true, I haven't heard this anywhere else. So I'm gonna treat this as a rumor. Not that I don't trust you, but just I haven't seen it verified yet, and I'd like to do that before I spout anything as truth. But if this is true, wouldn't that indicate that there's a level of premeditation by saving the plates and holding them and having them with you, like to swap the vehicle around? I think the DA's strategy for burglary charges is an aggravating factor at the sentencing for death penalty. But they'll have to be able to prove it. They'll have to prove the murders as well, but they'll have to be able to have enough evidence to prove he's guilty of that. Okay. The less facts we know, the more BS that will fill by social media. Correctly. I might be reading the Idaho law incorrectly, but it looks like there needs to be at least one aggravating factor for death penalty. But one of those is at the time the murder occurs, they murdered another. So yeah, I think we saw that in the Border Patrol case, where they basically said if you find that he killed more than one person, then it's automatically this is the penalty. But that, I don't believe, he wasn't a death penalty case, though. Don't think so. I don't remember. My brain that was last year. I can't remember what happened then. It was always sunny on Rose Day Parade. Today it will be cold and the rain will begin at 10 p.m. tonight. What cases are coming up? Thank you, says Karen. Well, Karen, we have a couple really good ones. We've got Sarah Boone this month. She's at the tail end of the month, but she's, I think, the big one we're really looking forward to. I was going to check that this morning before I went live. Let me do that here on the air with you here. Okay, just pulling up her docket sheet. I just want to see if the lawyer has filed, because we saw the judge said denied his motion to withdraw, right? And let's copy that. He denied the motion to withdraw, but he did it without prejudice. So he's able to file another motion if needed. So if he really thinks he can get off this case or really wants to, there's a chance that he might file again and have more information or something that way. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. The latest from that is that the hearing is still going on the 30th of January in Sarah Boone's case. So we'll have the pretrial conference, which Sarah Boone says she wants to be at, on the 17th. So mid-month we'll have that, which will be interesting to see what they're arguing there, setting up the rules for the case. But we've got that. We've got several big cases that are happening this year. Let me open up my document. Murdaugh is going to be a fun one as well. Okay, so suitcase murder, that's Sarah Boone. That's in January. We also have, obviously, Chad Daybell and Lori Daybell, if it doesn't get delayed, which it might be. Let's see, we've got the antifreeze murder with Mark Jensen. That's a retrial on that one. Young Thug is still going on this week. That's starting. He's already turned down a sweet plea deal. Robert Stanley Winburn is on the 23rd. This is out of Michigan, that one we saw last week. Just the crazy guy that has all the handwritten signs, and has accused the judge of just about every crime that she could possibly be involved with. Says she needs to recuse herself. He's on his 8th lawyer, because they just released his current lawyers because he's sued them as well for civil rights violations. So that's the Robert Stanley Winburn, also known as Scott Allen Libby. That's out of Washtenaw County in Michigan. So that's happening this month as well. Was he friends with one of the girls? Pauline, we don't know what the connection was, but there was some sort of connection there, an acquaintance of some sort. We've got January 9th. We've got a sports reminder, says Meister 80s Music. If we have a live stream during this time, Mr. 80s Music will not be there. He will be watching Georgia versus TCU, which I will not be able to stream. Sports are one of those things that they really don't allow me to provide additional content to and rebroadcast. Is it possible to B&E and Airbnb? What is B&E? Miranda warning should be a clue enough that absolutely nothing good results from the detainee from speaking to police without a lawyer. That they should add that to the warning. The detectives have 1,000 miles to cover to find the right knife. Richard, I don't think he would have got rid of the knife with his dad during the trip. I think if he got rid of the knife, I think it would have been shortly after the event. But it's not at his apartment, and it's. I believe it's probably in the immediate area, probably in the water. Ted Bundy represented himself at his trial. Courtney, I'm just saying there is a big group of people that like metal detecting and like magnet fishing, and as much as the law enforcement wants to be the people that find everything, they don't have the manpower to search like this. And basically you're presented with a situation where either you don't get the weapon, or you get the weapon but it's tainted, meaning it's been in possession by somebody that you can't vouch for, that doesn't have the training, that didn't handle it the way it was supposed to, things like that. So that being said, it might never be able to be proven that it is the weapon if it's found that way. When I was working with law enforcement doing a little bit of metal detecting, any object I found I could not dig up. I could tell them where it was and they could dig it up. That way it would preserve that evidence. I was just the one who located it for them. Let's see. Here in Ohio, Matthew, we hate Michigan, but I'm so happy for TCU there, the Cinderella team. I'm back. It's getting wet outside. Didn't want to get stuck in the yard. Yeah. Let's see. I used this search string to find 2 cold case files. Yeah, this is it's pure speculation right now, but it does point you in the right direction if you want to look at those cold cases, which are very likely have nothing to do with Koberger, but possibly do. I just need to reach up in the pocket of my recliner and pull out. But I get my phone in my hand in the morning. I can't let go. He might want to be infamous and spill his guts to the cops. No, he's said he wants to. He can't wait to be exonerated. He thinks he might have an ace in the hole as far as an alibi goes. Have the same iPad. I've got vision issues too. I love mine. It's easier to type in chat. Okay. If he traveled a lot, this investigation will be huge. It will be already, which may mean depending on if he waives his right to a speedy trial, which will be a really good factor, a big factor in this case. It could be years before it goes to trial, just from the scope of where they need to gather evidence from. But if he wants a speedy trial, if he pushes for that, that will really put the burden on the state to come up with all the evidence they need to get that conviction in a short amount of time. I mean, like 90 days type thing, 90, 120 days. If he does agree to talk to cops, we might see some Stephen McDaniels weirdness. Totally neutral answers that don't really give the cops anything. I see similarities between him and Daniels. Let's see. Could get DB for his defense. DB's not able to leave the facility, so we'd have to appear remotely. He's pretty much stuck where he's at. Riley says hi to everyone and is blowing her fairy sprinkled kisses to all. Hi, Riley. Good morning. Good to have you here. Tea's toxic for us, okay? Debbie says I almost hit the garage door. Be careful, Debbie. Wait till your eyes heal completely to drive. He seems like a professional student, stay at school forever with mom and dad's money type. Idaho hasn't done an execution in 10 years. Robin Rowe had been on death row for 30 years. So they sit on death row, but never, but they die of natural causes. Is that what you're saying? Nobody's alt but mine. Who? The dumpster defender case? What case is that? Clenning, Murdaugh, and Boone all start in January. Yes, Clenning. We forgot the OnlyFans case. That might be a tough one to cover because it will be like the Young Thug case, only it won't be hacked. It will be actual evidence that they keep putting up that we're going to have to blur out and not show. So I don't know how we're going to do that one. It will be interesting though. I thought Boone was tomorrow. Is that his Milwaukee case? Okay. 28-year-old PhDs aren't quite professional students. 35 would say that to me. Yeah, at 35, that's a long time. That's a long time to be in school. I heard Murdaugh case will take 3 weeks, not 2 weeks on legal mindset. It's going to be a long one. The Warren Clown murder is this month as well, pre-trial. Okay. Let me see what we've got. All right, sorry. Man, my green screen's acting up. Which side is that on? It's over here. I've got to fix that. All right. BK's family standing by him, so they will pay for his defense. Gene, I don't think they have any money. I really think the family is not wealthy enough to afford the defense he needs. So I don't know. Maybe they will, but that'll be a huge burden for them to take on. Miller trial starts this month. Self-defense shooting in Abilene, Texas. Abilene? Is it Abilene? Is that what that said? I don't want to have the pronunciation police arrest me this early in the morning. Miller trial. Is that one going to be televised? Is Sarah Boone's trial going to be televised? Nancy, we believe it will. A lot of the big stations, the big true crime channels are advertising it and basically setting up for it to be that way. I know they've filed to get access, and we don't have any indication that it would be sealed from the media or closed to the media. So I think it will be. Court TV is streaming it unless the judge says no, so it's toxic. Yeah, but Court TV is the reason why the judge said no in the Daybell case. All right, the good news is Scott Peterson was denied a new trial. Thank goodness. Right. He's not going to get that again. Oh, breaking and entering. I'm so far behind in chat. Sorry. Breaking and entering a B&B. Okay, I'm going to scroll ahead and just look for where I'm tagged here. Sherry says, phenomenal intro, immensely impressive. Well, thank you, Sherry. I'm going to change it over time a little bit as I want to start adding some clips from actual cases that we followed in it. But I went with what I had right now. May 12th. That's a way out there. That's halfway through the year almost. At least a third of the way into the year. But yeah, we've got some bigger cases out there. Why would anyone ever waive their right to a speedy trial? I see it often, though. Miss Priss, that's a great question for Matthew Harris Law. Why do we see so many, especially people accused with murder, waive their right to a speedy trial? What's in their interest as far as defense goes? Is it DB? DB is residing at the same place as Chris Watts? I believe that's correct. Let's see, who sent me that image? I sent you an image from Wiki under number 7. You'll find burglary as an aggravating factor allowing the death penalty. Okay, that's why they have that extra charge in there. So I think they will be pursuing the death penalty on this one. Do you know the story of how A.G. Bell created the first metal detector while searching for the bullet lodged in President Garfield? Alas, they didn't find it, but metal detectors began. Yes, it's a great story. And think of the technology now, how easy. I have literally used a metal detector when my child swallowed some money. And this is funny, but he swallowed some coins, and there are two things to do. Basically, that you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, pretty much you just have to wait, but we need to make sure, it goes through. Well, the making sure part is what I did not want to participate in. And those of you who've been parents with kids who eat money, you might have, you know what I'm talking about. Well, instead, what I could do was I could scan him with my metal detector, and I could tell exactly what denominations of coins he had swallowed and where they were from that. And so we were able to make sure everything moved appropriately to where it needed to be without having to do the dirty work. But yeah, that's what they needed to do with President Garfield, and we're not able to do. But I'm glad they tried, because it opened up a huge hobby for us. That guy says, I still can't use my member channel to talk in your chat. That guy, I don't know. Is it a YouTube thing? Because I don't show you being in trouble on any of my naughty lists. So unless you are known by a different name, I'm not seeing it on my side. So unless you really ticked off the YouTube powers that be, wait, try it again, like right now, and see if this works.
There's a lawsuit.
I might have been guilty. I just scanned through and found your name and crossed you off. I don't know how you got on the list. Okay, I'm craving fish and chips. Me as well, always. Okay. Make sure it goes through. Yes, that's what I was trying not to say, DMB. I wanted to tell you another story that was completely unrelated. This did happen in Idaho, though, since we're talking about Idaho today. You may not know this, Will Brian be back in Idaho, do we think? It won't be before tomorrow, because tomorrow afternoon he'll have his extradition hearing. He's going to waive his right, he says, according to his public defender. He's going to waive his right to that hearing and basically just go as soon as they pick him up. And I believe they'll pick him up right away. So I think it will be mid to towards the end of this week. But this happened up in Idaho. For those of you who don't know, there's a feature up in Idaho, just a geological, I guess I'm not sure if it's geologic. Yeah, it's a dune, a sand dune called Bruno Dune, which is, they call it dunes, but really it's just like one big sand dune. It's one of the largest sand dunes in the United States as far as height goes. Several, like 100 and something feet tall. It's just massive sand dune by itself out in the desert, the Idaho desert. And at the base of this dune, there's a pond or a small little lake that is full of fish. It has bass in it. And I went up there to this testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Yep, that was me. Hey, testing, that guy, it's working. It's working. And it was my fault all along. I owe you a huge apology. First of all, thanks for your support of the channel, and thank you even more so for your patience with me and not letting you chat the way you deserved. It looks like everyone is welcoming you. So I apologize for that. I don't know how you ended up on that list, but thank you for your patience. Anyway, so we're up here at Bruno Dunes. Raise your hand. Let's see if you know where Bruno Dunes is. Let's see. Do we have anybody that's familiar with that area? I believe it's between like Boise and Twin Falls, somewhere in that area, if I remember right. But it's an incredible sand dune. You go and it actually moves. Like the wind is moving it around, and it used to be like years ago, like the little entrance to the little park, the Bruno Dunes State Park. You go through the gate, and the dune was right there, but now it's like moved far away. The wind keeps blowing it away. And do you think he'll do a live call show someday? Possibly, Gene. It opens up. It opens up a little bit of risk to my channel because we get some trolls that come in and just want to say things that will get me shut down and in trouble. So I have to be careful how I do it. But possibly we have the technology to do that with the burner phone. Anyway, so at the base of this pond base of this sand dune is a huge dune, and the sand dune's fun to climb and slide down. You get sand in all the places you don't want, and anyway, that's all cool. But I was there for fishing, and I had a float tube. A float tube is basically like it's a glorified tractor tire tube with a little seat woven onto it and some pockets and everything. Mine fit all the way around me, so you wear it like a duck. You wear this huge floaty thing around your waist, and your legs dangle in the water, and you wear little flippers, and you can kick your feet, and it propels you backwards very slowly. But you sit there, and you've got your fishing pole, and you can fish, fly fish or cast, whatever you want to do. So I went up there to fish there at Bruno Dunes up there in Idaho. And I'm in the water, and the fishing was awful that day. It was just miserable. But while I'm there, people are playing or run up the dunes and stuff, and I'm sort of watching, keeping an eye on what's happening. And there's some guy who's obviously a little bit drunk, who's on the shoreline, and he's like throwing rocks in the water and stuff. And it's like, it's already hard enough to catch a fish without you doing that. And so I'm keeping an eye on him, and I try to go a little ways away from him. And then he gets the idea that he's going to swim across this lake, and he's going to swim fully dressed in jeans, with his shoes on, with his shirt on. It was like some flannel shirt thing, and he just is like, and it's like, I can swim across, I can do it. And he gets in and he starts just going, and it's shallow at first, and so he's like wading, and I see this, and I'm like, I used to be on the swim team many years ago. I love swimming, and I know that trying to swim in Levi's and judging that distance and knowing the fact that this guy's a little bit drunk, it was a bad situation, and it was not going to end well for him. And so I reel in my line, and so I'm not like dragging line in the water, and I start kicking as hard as I can because I'm going against the wind, trying to get up to where he is. Okay, because there's just a little while before it gets so deep that he can't touch the bottom. And sure enough, he gets there and he starts swimming, and he's making almost no progress. And he's swimming and he's swimming, and I'm just kicking the daylights. I've got like 200 yards to swim in with this, you know, in like a tub type floaty thing, and I kick until I get to him. And sure enough, he starts going up under the water and starts screaming for help, and goes down, disappears, comes up, yelling, goes down, and it goes forever. And my legs are on fire; they're burning. I've never, you know, kicked that hard, and he had just barely stepped off the sand dune and had made almost no progress. Okay. Like an underwater little dune, a little sandbar. He'd made almost no progress, and so he's screaming for help, and I'm getting to him, and right before I got to him, he was able to, because he's just doing the bobbing thing, up and down, coming up and sputtering, yelling, and right before I get to him, like I'm probably 15 feet away from him, he is able to gain his feet on the sandbar and, you know, get his head above water and keep it that way, and he's coughing out, you know, all the water he's swallowed and stuff, and gets to shore, and he starts swearing at me and yelling at me and throwing rocks at me, and I'm like, dude, I was just coming to save your life. I mean, I won't be able to walk for days. My legs are just trashed from how hard I just kicked to get over here. And he gets to shore and he starts throwing rocks at me and bottles at me. I'm like, dude, I was almost there to save your life. I would have been there in just a minute longer. Sorry it took so long, but, you know, you were throwing rocks in the first place, which is why I left. But he ended up living another day to make another poor decision another day. But that was the last time I went fishing up in Idaho. But yeah, it's scary. Yeah, another Scott story. Yes, it was. No good deed goes unpunished. Right. And it would have been dangerous for me had I reached him. Because if you know anything about rescuing someone who's drowning, they say reach, row, throw, go. Those are the order in which you want to go. So reach, row. Reach would be to reach out with a pole, like something to rescue. Row would be to take a boat, a very sturdy, you know, structure out that they could climb on board. Not like a canoe or a kayak, but an actual boat. So reach, row, throw would be to send the buoy, you know, through a buoy out on a rope, and they can get hold of them and drag it in. And go is the last one, where you actually physically go out there and try to help them in. But in that go method, it's the most dangerous for the rescuer as well, because in their panic to get air, to get above the water, they climb on top of you. They will climb you and hold you down. And oftentimes you'll find that rescuers end up taking the rescuer down with them, like that guy. Yeah, right here. Exactly. And so I was a little bit between the row and the go with the little float tube around me, because it would be very easy in that float tube, with the way the center of balance is, for him to try to pull himself up on it and flip me upside down. And then I would be in the water with neoprene waders full of water that are not easy to swim with. I'd have something tangled around my legs and be upside down, and it could have ended badly. But water rescue is no small task. It takes skill not to drown yourself. Yeah, it was not good. Okay. Max says that happened to me on the New River. Guy was tore up. We got him back across. Dang drunks. New River, West Virginia, right? Is that New River? Do I have my geography right? A young kid drowned at Lava Hot Springs when I was there. My dad did CPR, but it was too late. It's heartbreaking. Anyway, going back to Claire says, takes us back to the actual topic today. Does anyone think he has murdered before? If he has been found guilty. Okay, so Claire, obviously he's not guilty yet. He has not been proven guilty yet, so we don't know. But it seems bizarre that this would be his first foray into murder, that he'd go with 4. That's a grand entrance as far as getting into this level of crime. So for me, that's the part that's hard to accept. It could be this is his first time he's participated in a murder, and that's very likely. But at the same time, it seems more reasonable to believe that this was not his first time being involved. Even if there were times that were attempts that weren't successful or something, there might be something previously that led up to this. If he murdered before, he hasn't been convicted before. Correct. I was a lifeguard in my younger days. We always said, keep it only one, meaning don't make yourself another victim. I was a scoutmaster when my boys were in scouting, and so I'd go. It was always, I was always worried. Every single time we'd go camping, we'd go hiking, we'd go, tubing or canoeing or something. My motto personally was don't make the news. Okay, so. But the first goal was to bring the same number of people home that I took with me. Okay, so don't lose a boy, and the second one was don't make the news. I did not want to be scoutmaster loses scouts, or scout dies and trip. And of course the scouts want to do everything as extreme and dangerous as they can. I'm in there trying to tamp everything down into a safe level, but. Let's see. There's a diver that something went missing. He was with other divers around, and now they're hunting for his body. This is a different story. A diver went missing. For the swimming merit badge, I had to rescue somebody, and he was larger than I was. He held me under to teach me how dangerous it is to try to rescue someone. On the second try, he cooperated. Oh, my goodness. That's a dangerous way to try to teach someone something. I believe the training has probably changed since your day. Matthew Harris has some scouting history as well. I loved the program. I really did. It did a lot for me as a youth. I've got really fond memories of spending summer camps up in Wyoming at Fremont Lake. Let's see. I still think he saw the girls out and about that evening. Maybe they shot him down when he approached one of them and got angry and followed them home. Did he show up? I mean, we've analyzed, or they've analyzed all the videos that we have, all the security videos, the taco stand stuff. I don't think they've seen him on any of those videos, have they? Courtney says, I've lost count how many people have had to save due to riptides. Courtney, those scare me. When we first moved here to North Carolina, we took our family to the beach, and it was one of those days where the locals were like, it's freezing cold, don't go to the beach that day. But for us, it was like, oh, this is wonderful. The water's warm. Sure, it's like pelting us with rain and wind, but and so we showed up on the beach and just had a blast. But at the same time, we showed up with life jackets, all the protective things we possibly could. And we don't do that anymore. We understand the water a little bit better, and I think that the life jackets themselves give a false sense of security, so the kids will do things that are more dangerous. And so instead, we teach them about rip currents, and I'm constantly. I'll show up at the beach. I'm like, watch the water. The water is telling you. Read the water. You can see what's happening, and so we're cautious. And we also only let the kids swim in areas that have lifeguards, so that helps. But riptides are dangerous. Let's see. Just a creepy thought, says Ann. Idaho suspect was a criminal justice student. What if he wanted to see what it was like to do a mass murder? And I think that's sort of the vibe we got from the survey that he produced while he was at DeSales University. Could have used a fishing rod and reeled the guy in. I only had like 6-pound test on, though, so I'd have to really finesse him to get him to shore. I'm not sure if he would like that. Good morning, Patricia. Happy New Year's to you. I thought they saw that white car in the video behind that food truck. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am. Nancy, I haven't seen that one. I think they think they saw him in the background when the police were talking to those 4 college students who were like messing around in the field or something. unrelated incident, but they may have seen the vehicle in the background there. Do you remember with Webelos, We Be Loyal Scouts? I do. I remember Webelos. Swim parallel to shore, but it's hard to do when you're panicked. I grew up in Florida, and I have much respect for nature that way. Yeah, the riptide, you're in your brain, you think, I just have to get to shore where it's not so deep. I can, it's just a few more feet and I can touch the ground type thing. But that's not the right thing to do. It's to swim out of this current, because you're basically swimming. It's like there's a river that you're swimming in, and you're trying to swim upstream, which, unless you're the world's strongest swimmer, Michael Phelps type, you're not going to be successful in doing that. And it will just wear you out. And then in the end, you're out in deeper water and exhausted, and that's lights out. My guess, he'd been thinking about this for a long time, back during criminal justice at school, right? Webelos wobble, but they don't fall down. I've read some interviews with his professor and some students. They were surprised but not shocked, I think. If Cops plays to his ego, he may talk just because someone is finally talking to him. Now that he's got a lawyer, I don't think he will. I think he'll have a lawyer to play mind games with. So we'll see how that goes. Last Poet. I think we heard that the two remaining roommates may have locked their doors. I heard that. He wouldn't have liked it if you hooked him. Yeah, and had he not been rescued, me hooking him would just be like insult to injury. And maybe they would say that me hooking him was the problem and caused the. It could have been badly for me. My 4-year-old jumped in the deep end of the resort pool. I jumped in fully clothed to save him, only to watch him swim to the other side. Who knew the cheeky tyke could swim? Oh man. I wanted an interview video. We might get it, Katrina. We've got that 5 to 15 minutes. They talk to the police before he lawyered up, which I believe they're going to send to Idaho. If they send it to Idaho, then Idaho might treat that as a public record that we have access to after the trial. But PA, basically, the way the law is written, we can't get it right now, and we have to get it within the first 60 days, and it won't be won't be done with it as evidence in the first 60 days. Maybe if I file the request right now, even though I know I won't get it, then I can renew the request later. I might try that. Let's see, I worked as a rescue chief on Lake Norman, saved a 5-year-old kid that had drowned. His son was on the dive rescue team years later, drowned, tried to recover a body. Oh, man. Hey, Katrina Hetherington, new member. Welcome very much. Welcome to the gallery. Appreciate your support of the channel. You'll find you've got a lot of friends here you never knew you had. But wonderful to have you here. Okay. Too many people drown on vacation over here. It's sad. A lot of people just underestimate the power of the ocean and overestimate their abilities. So Toxic says, I'm waiting to hear about how they were found, on bellies or what. We do know that one of them fought back. I think 2 of them had defensive injuries. This kind of makes me think of Amityville murders and how they were all found on their bellies in bed. Toxic, I think you're right. At least one of them was probably found on their stomach, because all of them were stabbed in that area. But one of the roommates, the initial call to 911 that came in was that there was an unresponsive person. Like, they didn't know they were dead at that point. They were, so they probably would have been like not waking up type thing. So that would indicate that the roommate who called, I mean, we knew they wouldn't wake up because they were dead, but the roommate who called probably.
Address subject matter jurisdiction.
We can. The roommate who called probably thought they were asleep, so they didn't see the injuries. A PSA to lock your doors. Really. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm just scrolling through, making sure I got all the comments. I think I've got all of you.
For the record, I don't consent to that name.
Well, until you change your name to something else, that's what we'll call you. Any news on the Sarah Brooks FOIA? Richard, no. The Florida is awful. Is really awful at updating me. We believe today is still a holiday for most of the government side, so I don't anticipate getting it today. So tomorrow is going to be the soonest we can get it. Let's see. Let me double check. Nothing came in this morning. Nope. I've got nothing yet. So I might file another one just to cover a different date range. Hello from ICU COVID, trying to find the button to send money, says Karen. Karen, here's what you need to do. You just need to focus on you and get better. We will be here when you get back for sure.
There's a lawsuit.
Weather Watch, amazing. Hang on. How do I click this? I don't know how to click this. Weather Watch just gifted 5 Recovery Addict memberships. So 5 of you just, if you just watch and see, it looks like Ann, Michelle, Patty, and Rainbow Light, as well as Arkansas Magnet Fisher and Metal Detecting were gifted Weather Watch memberships. So please give him a big shout out and a thanks. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You can you now get all the privileges that come with being a member of the channel. That is awesome. I appreciate that so much. But we were just saying to Karen, let's see, please focus on you. Okay, just get better. We will be here. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. But get healthy and get back to us. We'll have some fun and have some great conversation when that happens. But until then, if it helps to listen, we'll be here for that as well. Okay. Anyone think the professor is going to sue that TikTok wannabe? She is that guy. She's actually filed the lawsuit. The lawsuit's a federal lawsuit.
Karen Fall just sent a super sticker with 4.99.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. You're amazing. The lawsuit's going forward. Here's what I'll tell you. As of yesterday, that TikToker, who is, I believe her username is Ashley's in the Book of Life, she had not posted any more TikToks. Like she's ghosting everybody. And I'm going to pull it up right now just to double check. Ashley is in the Book of Life. Let's see. Yep, there's nothing new. Her latest one was 3 days ago. So now she can focus all her attention on that lawsuit and what excitement that will bring her for 2023. Because it won't be good. Okay. Michelle moves from the back row to the front row. Let's see. There it is. Michelle, please take your reserved member seat on the front row. I know, Michelle, I know you like the back row. You're going to have to sit on the front row at least for a month. That's just the way it works. Thank you very much, Weather Watch, for that. I think someone may have finally penetrated her thick skull with info on how screwed she is. Patricia, I was thinking about that because you look at her feed, her timeline, and there are so many posts, like 60 some odd posts since she originally, pointed the finger at the professor. And you think maybe a lawyer, but if there was a lawyer, why has she not just shut down her account? Why has she not deleted all these posts to say, hey, I made a mistake, at least show, the damage is already done. It's not going to stop the lawsuit, but at least show that she's trying to change, that she's not keeping that information out there, that she's not causing additional damages now. So I don't know. I hope they ban her from all social media. Debbie, I think if she's proven guilty, if she loses this one, I think her social media account will disappear. But I think before then, Amazon at least will probably sever their relationship with her because she's an Amazon influencer. I wonder if she's ghosted because of the lawsuit or because of the arrest. It's definitely because of the arrest, Little Miss, because the lawsuit, she was actually showing off the paperwork. She was showing off the cease and desist letters that she was receiving and talking about the lawsuit. And so I think it's the arrest that shut her up. I don't see the join button. I'm a subscriber. Suzanne, it doesn't show up on some devices like iOS for some reason. I don't know why. It's great to see how the other half lives, says Michelle. Isn't the view great up here, Michelle? It is. It's fabulous from the front row. Amazon influencer. I didn't know that was a thing. That guy, it's the way Amazon does that is they basically say if you have like 10,000 Instagram followers, or you have a certain number, over 1,000. I forget what their actual thresholds are, but depending on the social media platform, they have different thresholds of how many posts you make and how many people interact with your channel. And if you meet those thresholds, you can apply and become an Amazon influencer with different privileges, depending on how many you have. Some allow you to actually live stream on Amazon's channel as you're doing your unboxing videos and reviews of their own products. Some allow you just to have a affiliate link that gives you a commission. Yeah, right here. Become a merchant, sell things through your channel. Amazon pays you a percentage, a commission. Right, I have that, but I've been an Amazon seller for about 12 years. Actually, when I was in college, which I did very late in life, I started selling books, used books online, and that was a very lucrative job for me at the time. But I've been an Amazon seller since then. Good morning, Ann Kirk and Crime Watchers. It's good to have you here, Ann. Thank you. Gary says, Recovery Addict, have you heard the podcast on J is for Justice of a caller describing the murders? No, Gary. Is there anything that would allow us to link the voices? Yeah. Bitfinex, I'm not sure if Amazon's really seen the posts. She wouldn't post that content on Amazon's platform. So it might take someone notifying Amazon about the issue before they took action. Lisa, welcome to the collective. Resistance is futile. Jay is nuts. Are you talking about Jay is for Justice? Is this Weather Watch? Is he like saying it's nuts, like it's fake, or just for attention? Jay is for Justice was creepy. Thought the podcast caller was on T-Rev's channel. Okay. No, he's a scammer. Yeah, there are a lot of people, sort of like this TikToker, that are trying to make a name for themselves off this. Debbie says, Recovery Addict, where are the commands? If you hit !commands, they'll show up in chat. But I need to update the response because I think there are a couple more that you don't know about yet. I'm excited to see the suitcase case. I'm excited to see the inside of the suitcase case, meaning once it begins in court. But George was not excited to see the inside of the suitcase. Too soon, I know. This is why we don't allow web sleuth videos in the Discord. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff out there that's highly speculative, and it can get people in a lot of trouble if it's presented as truth. Launch codes, is that what you're trying to say, or lunch codes? Either way. She's a true crime fan like us. Just has her own channel, but certainly does not like opposing opinions and views. WFLA filed suit against her for copyright issues, etc. Huh. I meant Justice for All. Get them confused. Okay. Oh, new commands. Let's try this again. I think yours is MTH or MHL. Sorry. Let's see if this MHL one works. If not, I know what I have to work on today. Please don't lead RA down the crazy train rabbit hole, says Rowdy. Yeah, I don't have time for the crazy train. We've got to stick to just the truth, and that's why I prefer to look at cases as they're being litigated. We need a list, please. Okay, I'll work on that today, Pauline. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to work on the commands. We're going to have a couple more sound effects. I think I might do
In front of the Walmart.
I might do that one. Let's see what else we wanted to do with. We've got the lawsuit already.
That's not him.
I don't know. We'll have a couple. We'll put on. Thoughts on what to be included in the PCA? Well, I think Courtney. I think we're going to find basically I think we'll have DNA information. What actually led them to him is going to be there. What the connecting fact was, and that's going to be pretty telling. Mr. Robert Torso says, I keep delaying getting ready for work. Dang you, recovery addict. I'm indeed addicted. We all are. Why is he chewing on this guy? That's a good one.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
We might need that sound effect. I don't want to have so many sound effects that they just take over the channel. As a matter of fact, if we ever get times where it's all sound effects and nothing else, I'm probably going to mute them for a little while just to calm it down, because I like the fun it can have and bring to the channel. And some of you guys the timing with the way that you bring in the sound effects is hilarious, and I want that. But at the same time, I don't want us to be a all sound effect channel. We've got stuff to discuss, cases and things. I still can't get over Amazon allowing some influencer to accuse someone of murder when Amazon won't allow product reviews to blast another vendor's name or product line. Yeah, I believe they may have severed that tie already. I don't know.
Address subject matter jurisdiction.
We can do that, of course. Katrina has gifted a membership, and it looks like Last Poet. Congratulations. Katrina has sent you a membership. Thank you very much, Katrina. Appreciate that. I know I was looking for a way to gift memberships to specific people, like if I could give them out as either prizes or things like that. Like it would be funny if I could gift a membership for being first in chat or something like that. It looks like it won't allow me to do that. Any gifts, YouTube gets to decide where they go. It doesn't allow it to go to a specific person. But let's see. It's possible that Amazon has cut her connection altogether. We believe in free speech unless we disagree with it. We like differing opinions here, but why did the chat just stop? I think it's frozen. Oh, I think something happened on my end. Testing 1, 2. Did I buffer just for a minute there? Hopefully not. I just lost my... Why is it not changing? My feed is not updating. I can see you guys are still talking, but oh, there we go. Holy cow! I'll have to fix that for some reason. My chat computer was not updating. I have to make this command so you can let's see. That guy, the way you use the command, it's always going to point to your username. And that was very creative, the way you worked that in. But I don't know how to make it so you can point someone else to their seat. Rowdy says it was me. I might have banned you. Let's see. Courtney says, Kurt wants to get with you on how to do the sound bites. Sure. 100%. Pointing to the burner phone.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
We will do that. Pointing to the burner phone. It's actually the system I'm using is free, which is always a good thing when you're building a channel. But yeah, it's pretty versatile. And I'd be happy to share any information that helps anyone's channel. Let's see. Is there a join button now? Yes, says Julio. And Suzanne, welcome to the gallery. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being a member. Thank you for supporting the channel. My subscriber list is growing. Congratulations. It's amazing. I did have a squirrel moment there, a pickle moment. My chat does that sometimes. I go to top chat and then back to live. It's all better. Yeah, I did change mine over to live chat. Generally, it's the same for me either way. I don't really see a difference, but it started working again. Congratulations on 4K subscribers. I'm so excited. It was exciting. Is Sarah Boone tomorrow? Maui, unfortunately not. The first we're going to hear from Sarah Boone is going to be on the 17th, and that's going to be a pre-trial hearing. That will probably be a longer hearing where they're setting some ground rules as far as what's going to be allowed in trial and just get some ideas going forward about how that's going to look. Sarah Boone should be there at that trial as well, and it should also be televised. So we'll join for that one. Let's see. I need a squirrel. Tag, I need this. This is a great idea. Let me get to my document here. Without spilling my cup on my laptop. I need squirrel. I will say I almost made a item of merchandise that's a Pickles Not Politics item. And I built it, I designed it, it was all ready to go. We selected all the features, and I tried to launch it, and it came back with an error because it's being made in Canada, which I love Canada. They're our neighbors to the north. We have several Canadians here in chat. But the company that makes it, the terms of their shipping violate the terms of my company that I was using to arrange the manufacture. So I'm not sure why they agreed to go with the company if they don't like their shipping policy, but they won't let me do it. So I have to find a different manufacturer for that one. But I'll get there. We'll have a Pickles Not Politics. Where's my squirrel? We do have squirrel emojis available. A naughty corner. Oh, I'm not sure if we can do that. Let's see. I thought Sarah Boone was tomorrow, but now on the 17th. Did something change? I might have had a squirrel moment myself. I don't think we had, Courtney, I don't think we had Sarah Boone ever on the 1st. She's always been on the 17th and the 30th, at least for the last month or so. Rowdy says, well, that guy, I'm banned on another channel, but I don't know why. I ask every day in the chat why I'm banned, just for fun. Well, you're not banned here, Rowdy. We're pretty open-hearted, and big-hearted. We let just about everybody in, as long as they're civil. Walmart should have a crime-only aisle, duct tape, rope, shovels, etc., so criminals aren't wandering all over the store. Great idea. Go ahead and present that to them. I will tell you that I reached out to Walmart on social media over the weekend. Actually, it was on. I knew that the best way to get a hold of them was to contact them regarding a problem, because they on social media they watch for that. It's their image they're trying to protect. They want to be responsive. So I had a problem where we bought eggs, and when we buy eggs as my family, we buy a lot of eggs at a time. So we buy 60 eggs at a time because omelets can go through half of them in a morning. And so we bought these eggs, and I brought them home and opened them, and the box was like pristine. But I opened them up, and like the whole top row was like smashed, and all of them were just like dried, like they'd been dried for a month in there. Just like, this is not something that happened on the way home. And so I called Walmart and said, hey, we got a bad batch of eggs. They're all smashed and everything's crusty, dried. It's been that way for a long time. I literally just left your store with this box. And and anybody, before I did that, I posted on social media and said, hey, Walmart, can you make this right type of thing? And when they reached back out to me, I said, hey, it's my local store took care of it. That's awesome. But I do want to talk to you about getting a sponsorship for my channel regarding spicy maple bourbon pickles. And they didn't respond. But I'm still going to push that issue because I think it's a good thing. Julie, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. And she is an attorney. Oh my goodness, Julie, you have not just moved to the front of the row. You have moved to the leather seats. You are at the front. You're here participating as an officer of the court of public opinion. It is so wonderful to have you here, and as such, we'll recognize you on a regular basis to make sure everyone knows when you are here in the House and the authority that your position entitles you to. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Let's see. Crumbly's tomorrow. Okay, yes, that the parents are tomorrow, right? Isn't it the parents tomorrow? No. Is it the sentencing? Because Ethan had a review hearing on the end of November. His parents were scheduled, I thought, for the 17th for trial. Is there another hearing for the Crumbly parents? Is that what you're talking about, Laura? Lisa says, what does a squirrel mean? Lisa, I have this condition where I can be in the middle of a sentence and suddenly something shiny will come up, an idea will pop into my head, and I will just stop talking about that and immediately focus on something else as if I'd been talking about the other item all along. It is very much a distraction for me, and I do suffer from this. It's a terminal condition. It will never go away, but I try to control it as much as I can. Eggs. That's a lot of eggs. Sweet and Sassy has admitted to being an addict. Please welcome to the group. Sweet and Sassy, thanks for becoming a subscriber. I appreciate that. Arkansas says, good morning, and everyone, and whoever gifted me the free month membership to RA's channel. I believe it was Weatherwatch who gifted you that one, Arkansas. It's good to have you here. Hope things are going well for you. We might need your services, actually, Arkansas Magnet Fisher, up in Idaho, up in that area. They still have not found the murder weapon. And as a magnet fisher, we might need you to make the trip up there and check some of the waterways in the area, looking for a K-bar style knife. It should be, there's enough metal there, and it's a small enough object that the magnet passed over it should pull it up of the muck pretty easily. So that would be interesting. Of course, it's a smaller metal object can be thrown very far, so it's possible that it might be a long throw with a magnet. Yep, and the cost of eggs these days, I'll tell you that 60 eggs, I paid $23, $24 for 60 eggs, which eggs I think have risen in price like crazy. Rule number one when buying eggs, always check the eggs before grabbing off the shelf. Tag, I normally would, but when we buy so many eggs, we buy them the cases, and the cases are like glued shut and sealed. So I basically just have to look at the outside of the box and make sure there's no like egg yolk running out or it's been crushed or something. And this box was in perfect condition. Good morning, Catlaw. Good to have you here. Welcome. Walmart needs less employees shopping for lazy people and more checkout clerks. Mac, my Walmart has gone entirely to self-checkout. I'm not sure if that's something that happens all across the country, but my store, there is no option anymore to get helped with checkout unless you're over at the cigarette aisle, and they don't want you to bring your cart. They just want you to buy the cigarettes there, and that's it. Cigarettes and lottery tickets type thing. So basically, you have to check out yourself in these aisles, but they have 10 Walmart employees who stand around and just watch you check out. I'm not sure how they're saving money by doing this, but they just stand there and watch the whole time and tell you, hey, you missed one type of thing. I spoke to a Dollar General employee yesterday about to shrink. One store loses 40. Hang on. I spoke to a Dollar General employee yesterday about shrinkage, like in the loss. One store loses $40,000 a year to shoplifters. That's ungodly. That is a huge number. especially because it's a dollar store. So do the math. I'll have to do this on my calculator so I get the numbers right. But you've got 40,000, and they're open 7 days a week, right? So we'll divide that by 7. We're going to divide it by 365. If I can hit the buttons right. So you're losing about $110 a day in items. Man. How do you make a profit? Especially, they have very narrow margins. They don't have huge profit lines. I always lift the top and touch each egg, make sure it's not broken. We'll see you, Matthew Harris. Enjoy. We'll see you when you get back. Let's see. I always inspect my eggs before buying. They get the wiggle test, but I'm only buying 18 at a time, not 60. Yep. My youngest son loves omelets. He's hooked, and he'll ask me to make them. He wants to make them himself, but he's not really old enough to make them himself. But he will, if I give him the nod, he will. He'll crack the eggs. He'll set out the everything he needs, the spatula, the salt, pepper. He knows exactly what he wants in his omelet. But MM Jones says, how do I become a member? I think there's a join button, MM Jones. If you're on an iOS device, you might have to log into it using Safari. It may or may not let you do that. Let's see, sorry, I was at the gym, so I missed a lot. No, you're good. We're sort of having an easy day today because courts are still on vacation. Does anyone know if the extradition hearing for BK will be live streamed? If I know PA is hard on blocking stuff like that. Right. I don't expect it to be live streamed. Mostly because even the ones that are live streamed, you have to get a request in like a week in advance. And we haven't had a week since he was arrested. So nobody's had enough time to really have the judge, consider the request to live stream it, things like that. So I doubt it's going to happen. Julie says, yay, thank you. Love your channel. Julie, love you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. What does the blue building mean by the names? Jojo, that's a member badge. Anyone who becomes a member gets a blue courthouse next to their name, and that badge will actually change color as the longer they are a member. I think that it ends in purple, but it'll go through all the colors of the rainbow and end that way. It's just a little sign to show that they're supporting the channel, and we just appreciate them for doing that. It helps me also during questions and stuff. If there's a lot of questions, I try to sort of prioritize the questions from members, just because I know they're supporting me on the channel, and I feel I want to help them that way. But you don't have to be a member to participate at all. Just being here is plenty. Uncivil Law, good to have you here. If you have, Kurt, were you the one who wanted information about the sound effects? Because I use Lumia Stream, and I'd be happy to talk to you offline if you want to about that. I'm not sure if that's who Courtney was referring to. Good to have you. Enjoyed your streams the last couple days over the New Year. Down to 11 eggs and panicking. I'm ordering three more dozen. Lots of scrambled eggs in this house. We go through a ton. The kids just...
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Now would be a good time to do that if I hadn't already addressed it previously. I'm only one person. I buy 60 eggs at a time. I really need a chicken, Ann, is what I need. And I've started building a chicken coop in the yard. We've put the posts in the ground, but I haven't gone the full get the chickens. The problem is I'm not sure if I could keep them alive. I'm not sure if I could... remember to feed them and water them. And I don't have a pet right now. I mean, it's a full-time job just keeping the kids healthy and happy. But I'm not sure if I have that in me. I like to travel and do things occasionally. I like to go metal detecting, and I'd hate to have animals that are dependent on me for food and everything that I neglect. So I've got to make sure I'm in the right mindset before I get chickens. Imagine the conversation with his dad from Pullman to Penn. Yeah, did this come up? Did this come up with Brian? And his dad's like, so some pretty crazy stuff happening at college, right? They're looking for a car just like ours. You hear anything about that? Western omelets are great at Waffle House. 2 a.m. after the bars, I think. Waffle House, we sort of have a love-hate relationship with Waffle House, Mac. I will say the first time I was in North Carolina, I ate at the Waffle House because it was the only thing that was open when I was right before I was flying out after we'd found the house we wanted to buy. The second time we ate at Waffle House, we all got sick. So I loved it the first time. The second time was not as much fun. Irene, you have a fantastic name. Irene Calexico, who said Kate. Did I pronounce that right? I appreciate that you read all comments, not just super chats and member comments. Everyone should have a voice. I try. I will tell you that on days when, especially when it's like a verdict day or something, it can get crazy in here. And we have so many people that pop in. Chat goes very fast. Because of that, I turn on the subscriber only option for chat. Not that I don't want people, I'm not trying to force people to subscribe, but that makes it so that the trolls that pop in and have the inappropriate chats and things like that, it makes them work longer and wait longer before they get to talk, and it makes it a little easier for the mods to sort of shut them down so it doesn't just cause problems in chat. But that's what I try to do to keep everything appropriate, and if needed, we'll slow down the timer, the slow chat option. But I do want everyone to be able to ask questions, and I look at all of them. I don't filter out just specific questions, because so many of you are so much smarter on some of these issues than I am, and I'd hate to miss that. I'm fortunate there's an egg farmer just outside of town. I get eggs at $3.50 a dozen rather than $7. Michelle, friend, hook me up. I need chickens. I need chickens for sure. Waffle House hash browns are the best. Oh my goodness, are they ever? Love them. They're fantastic. I would go back and eat at Waffle House, but my family will not. You only need to feed chickens once a week with large feeders and waters from Tractor Supply, and you can buy chicks there in spring too. I'm looking at that. We've done the research. We've had the lights and the feeders and everything for the chicks. We've got a friend who has chickens who's willing to help us with those. I just need to build the house the right size, because my town, even though we're out in the country, they have restrictions on the number of chickens I can have, and I believe it's 6, which is probably enough for us because we don't eat eggs every day. But I need to have the house a certain size, because that's also in the regulations. I think it has to be like 24 square feet, or I have to have like 3 square feet per chicken, and the location of the house. It's like a code thing. But for being out in the country, there's a lot of rules about chickens. But I need to make sure I'm in full compliance before I can move forward. Just watch a video of the scuffle at Waffle House after the bars closed, chairs flying. Oh, Bella, I saw that video, and the girl behind the counter, she blocks the chair like she's a superhero. She's just like, whew, it's like she just caught it in midair type thing and pushed it out of the way like nothing had happened. Fresh eggs are delicious. They are, and they taste so much better than store-bought eggs. Do you think BK kept the knife at his apartment after the incident? Golden Mom, we know they've searched his apartment, and they still say they haven't found the knife. So if he did, he didn't keep it there at the time of his. It wasn't there at the time of his arrest. You're getting old when Scott can relate to what you're saying. Hey. It's become my weekday morning routine. It's good to have you here, Kathy. Waffle House and Walmart. One of those almost always features in murder cases. Yeah,
That's not him.
Not that sound. Here we go.
In front of the Walmart.
In front of the Walmart. I probably, if Walmart ever sponsors me with their spicy maple bourbon pickles, I probably won't be able to use that sound effect. They wouldn't appreciate that. I need to be peanut farmers. My son has SPD and is obsessed with peanut butter, so I guess a peanut farm with my chickens is my future. Courtney, we go through a lot of peanut butter. We go through 5 loaves of bread and probably a gallon of peanut butter a week. My kids love it. It's if their food of choice is making themselves a peanut butter sandwich. This is a really good size of channel for this type of discussion. Slow enough you can read and respond, but fast enough to keep my attention. Miss Priss, the hang up, the weakest link is me on this. I do get caught up in the chat. I love the conversation, the back and forth, and everything. But I just fall behind sometimes. Make sure to get rid of the rats. They will eat the chicken's feet. And I have a pellet rifle, and I am well trained in the art of getting rid of rats. The two may be connected, but I actually do enjoy rat extermination. And legally, even though the city has rules about how many chickens I can have, legally I am allowed to shoot rats on my property. I'm thinking about getting quail. I love quail. I'm not sure if I'd enjoy making quail omelets, because it would take like 20 eggs for the type of omelet I like. Dallas, it's weird. My town has about 5,000 people in it, which I guess it's small, right? We're on some pretty good sized lots, but they do have a lot of rules for being a small town. Waffle House employees versus Floyd Mayweather would be a fight I want to see. $20 on the employees. They fight for death. You've got to love Waffle House employees. Think of what they've seen, really. I mean, it's as far as who comes in there at all hours of the day and night. It's never a dull moment. TW has to go shopping now for eggs and pickles. Wanda French says, hello, I want to thank everyone that peeked in my 666 serial killer playlist. Bumped me to 50K views. Love ya. Wonderful, Wanda. 50,000 views is great. Wait for it. It is pretty relaxed. There are days that it's a little more stressful and fast-paced. But where court's not in session today, we can really just relax and have fun here with just a bunch of friends. Peanut butter and marshmallow cream sandwiches. I have not tried the two combined. Tag, I've not tried that tater tot casserole, but it's on the list. I've showed Mrs. R.A. that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. She does, Mrs. R.A. is fantastic at creating systems, and we will do a big shopping day where she will make freezer meals, general dinners that we can pop in the oven and bake a casserole, things like that. So that tater tot casserole is definitely going to be on the list, but she'll make 30 meals at a time and just load up our freezers with meals. And so we're still finishing the last batch of meals, so it takes a little bit. But she's all about new things. Not sure about rats, but chickens eat mice. I think we do have mice here. We're out in the country, so plenty of fields around. Will someone get the mouse out of the trap in my bathroom, please? Lil Miss, there's some pretty cool mouse traps that are available that you might want to look at. If you go to Lowe's, they have a mouse trap that looks like the jaws of a clamp, like a little spring-loaded clamp. But you just pull it until it opens, and that's it. And you can just hold that side, and it will release as well. They work really well. I've used them here. Honey and peanut butter is delicious. That's a tried and true recipe for us. Rats are best served cold. Nope. They go straight in the throwaway. They don't get near food. $50,000 views on YouTube. That is great, Wanda. Ernest says, "Hi, addicts. Just woke up. How good is 2023 starting for you?" Well, I've already called it 2022, if that's any indication. But other than that, it's been fantastic. I will say that we've got some great goals. We're going to do some great things with the channel, and we have some amazing cases coming up that are going to be so much fun to watch together. In Minneapolis, there are many people who have chickens, very noisy. This is an amazing group of people. This is like the as Charles Dickens would say, the pick and flower of England. Really, this is the cream of the crop when it comes to people on the internet, in this little corner of the internet. It's wonderful. Norma, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate your support of the channel. Please type in !seat, and we'll move you right to the front of the room. Crafty Cow says, "Recovery Addict can't seem to find how to subscribe." It's going to be, if you look on the channel page, Like if you click on my name, Recovery Addict, on the by the video title, it should take you to a channel page that has, right now it has like a picture of a whole bunch of trees, just a cool picture of trees. And here's a little tidbit. This is a squirrel moment. Okay, I just thought of something, and it's now completely unrelated to your question, Crafty Cow. But in that picture of trees, one of those trees is fake. By fake, it means it was not in that picture originally. I put it there after the fact. But it was an actual tree I took a picture of, but it wasn't where I put it in the picture. So if you can find that tree, let me know which one it is. I am going to change that probably today as well. That banner's going to change to be something a little more true crime oriented, as well as my logo. I'm trying to make my channel a little bit match what we do here a little bit more. But if you go to the channel page, it should have a subscribe button there. Tastes like cheesy tots, but it's not. I always make sure to add craft cheese on top before it's shredded sharp. That's what makes it. My kids are not huge fans of the sharp side of the cheddar. They're more the mild or medium, but I imagine I could probably do that. Slight modification. Debbie says, I watch a farming channel. When a chicken finds a mouse, the race is on. I had a neighbor who trained his chickens to eat worms. I'm not sure why, but because worms are pretty good for the soil. I have, he says, my daughter has chickens and all the stories that go along with them. I might know some stories that might happen there. Let's see. Back when checks were still a thing, I'd write the old year for 6 months into the new year. Actually, on Sunday, I had twice I had the occasion to write the date, and I got it right both times. And then 1 minute into the live stream today, I called it 2022. So I'm sort of ashamed of that. This mousetrap is simple, but I can't stand looking at this poor neck being broken in the handle. I would have to lift. And where would I put it? The trash seems so disrespectful. No, little miss, that's where he goes. It goes in the trash. Don't feel bad at all. It's a disease thing. They can spread a lot of disease. If you don't like it, what I suggest is taking a Walmart bag and putting it inside out on your hand and just grabbing the trap through the Walmart bag and then pulling it right side out, and then it's in the bag and you don't have to touch them at all. And then you tie the bag and just put it in the garbage. You should be fine. I prefer borrowed without permission, without the intent of returning. Yeah. It's semantics. I had to use my laptop to join. It just scrolled. Let's see. Norma, I'm glad it worked for you. Thank you very much for your support. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on chat here. 2023 would be cool. Would be so cool if it brings a federal trial against DB for hate crime. Do you think that would happen? I know they ruled out. Would that be double jeopardy? Ernest, are you talking about a different crime? That's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll be tried again for anything that happened at the parade, the Waukesha parade. Dozen eggs is $4.39. It's crazy. Yeah, they're expensive right now, and I think it was because they had a lot of illness. They had disease in a lot of the egg laying factories, and so they basically wiped out all the chickens they had, and they have to raise new ones up. But they've almost had enough time to do that, and the egg prices haven't come down significantly. I found the cat is a good mouser. They'll catch him every time. I'm too allergic for cats. Tag says, okay, twist my arm, people. I'll post the recipe to Discord for everyone. Do that. It's fantastic. The recipe looks great, is what I'm saying. So I can't wait to try it. It's the vibrant green tree on the far right of your banner. Good guess, but no. Weather Watch, it's not that one. Let's see. The one in the forefront. Nope. Nope, not that one. Welcome to the dark side. Here's your cookie. Welcome, Mark. It's good to have you here. Thanks for becoming an addict and subscribing. Lower right yellow tree. No. It's an easier guess. It's an easier guess. Maybe I can pay my membership with eggs. I think if we can get that to work out, I would be on board with that 100%. Trying to see who's guessing here. No option on iPad or iPhone. Yeah, Crafty Cow, the iOS devices are weird like that. I'll tell you as far as the banner goes, for those that are still looking at the picture of the trees. Yes, it's the red or the orange tree, sort of the middle, just left of middle in the bottom. That tree was not there at all. I added that with Photoshop. It exists about 100 feet away from that picture, but it was not there. We were just guessing on the banner on my channel page, which I'm changing today to be more law and crime focused. I had a picture of trees. It's actually a picture of trees from an area where I did some searching for an old Spanish mine in the Wasatch Mountains, and it was early fall. I took that picture, but I liked that orange tree, and it was not in the picture where I had this one. So anyway, I will. That's what we were guessing. It was a tree. For those that know the area, that was near the Skyline, near Skyline Drive, Parish Canyon, Davis County. Wasatch Mountains. Okay. A tree is a red herring. It was. I like that. Okay. All right. So we have caught up on chat. Are the 3 dead trees in there? Rowdy, I love that you remember these 3 trees. No, those 3 trees are an Instagram account I created for about a year and took pictures of 3 trees not far from me here in North Carolina. This picture is actually from Utah, the one on my channel. But I've stopped taking pictures of those 3 trees. They're still there, but I imagine soon they're going to get taken out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say we've had a fantastic morning. You guys are amazing. There we go. We're gonna end it here. I've got a lot of work to do on the channel. I've got some things to fix and make better. I've got some sound effects to put in place and play with and all that. And we also have some big things happening tomorrow with the hearing. That's going to be pretty quick in PA about the Idaho case. We have more cases coming up. We've got a lot of stuff happening out of Knoxville that we might be bringing as well. Ethan has 2 court appearances coming up. Is one tomorrow, Toxic?
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Tomorrow. I'll address it tomorrow. I'm back, baby. That guy's so glad we can get that fixed. I'm sorry that I was the cause of that problem. Thanks for your patience. Thank you, Weather Watch, for your support. Thank all of you for becoming members who became members today and joined the channel. Thanks for just showing up and watching and talking. Even the lurkers, those who don't even subscribe, I will tell you that about 2/3 of my viewers are subscribed to the channel, which is great. That number is much higher than the YouTube average. But I know there's a third of you out there that don't subscribe, but do come back and watch often. And thank you. You're welcome here. Feel free to jump in chat anytime. You'll find there's a lot of friends here. Take care of everybody. See you tomorrow. Okay, 25th and in February. That's for the hearings. Okay. Bye, everyone. I can chat now. All right. Have a great day. I appreciate y'all. Please, when you go home tonight, give a hug to people you love. Smile at somebody, make their day just a little bit better, and stay safe till we go live again, either today with something weird that breaks in the news or tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., where we all get to start doing this over again. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later.